Everyone thought the tattoo was just ink, a wild symbol of rebellion. But when she pulled off her hood that morning, even the SEAL commander took a step back, because that mark wasn't art. It was a death emblem, one that only ghosts of the battlefield carried. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The sun hadn't yet burned through the mist when she stepped onto the training range at Coronado. The recruits were loud that morning, joking, laughing, trying to mask their nerves. And then she appeared, silent, hooded, boots heavy with sand. Someone snorted. "Hey, hood girl, wrong base?" Another laughed. She probably got lost on her way to yoga. But she didn't answer. She simply set down her rifle case and knelt, brushing sand from the worn metal latch. The moment it clicked open, the range fell quiet. The gun inside wasn't regulation. It was customized, precise, marked by a single carved insignia, a raven clutching a broken arrow. The SEAL commander, Captain Rhodes, froze mid-step. He'd seen that mark before, once, years ago, painted on a wall in Kabul, after an impossible rescue mission. The soldier behind that symbol had been rumored dead, but that couldn't be her. Could it? The recruits kept jeering. "What's the tattoo mean?" one asked, pointing to the ink curling down her wrist. 3 black feathers and a single red line. She finally looked up, her voice calm, cold, almost detached. "It means you don't miss." The air shifted. Even the wind seemed to pause. She set up her scope. No hesitation, no wasted movement. The first shot cracked through the silence. A bullseye. Then another, and another, each one slicing through the same hole until the target board looked burned through. By the 4th shot, no one was laughing. Rhodes walked closer, trying to make sense of the woman before him. "Name?" he asked quietly. She hesitated. "Raven." That name hit like a memory. He'd heard it whispered in the desert. A female sniper who covered an entire platoon retreat under impossible odds. No photo, no record, just a code name. He studied her face, the faint scars near her temple, the calm in her eyes. "I thought you were gone," he said. She replied softly, "Some missions don't end where you think they do." Later that day, during the simulation, the recruits were tasked with breaching and clearing a mock compound. The laughter had turned to nerves. Everyone watched her from a distance. She didn't boast, didn't bark orders. She just moved. Precise, fluid, quiet. Halfway through the exercise, an explosion sounded. One of the trainees had mishandled a charge. Chaos broke out. Dust filled the air. People shouted for medics, but through the smoke, Raven emerged, dragging 2 recruits to safety with one arm. Her rifle slung across her back. Her sleeve was torn, revealing the full tattoo, not just feathers, but a list of names inked along the veins of her forearm. Fallen teammates. Rhodes saw it, and his throat tightened. He knew one of those names. Corporal L. Rhodes. His brother. When the dust cleared, the silence was heavy. The recruits looked at her differently now. Not as some outsider, but as someone who had lived through the stories they only heard in training. Rhodes walked toward her, voice low. "You were there when he..." She nodded. "He didn't die afraid. He said your name." Rhodes swallowed hard, jaw tight. He offered his hand. "Welcome home, Raven." That night, as the sun dipped behind the range, the recruits gathered around her quietly. No one laughed anymore. They just listened, as she spoke softly about the men she'd lost, about what courage really meant. Not the medals, not the missions, but showing up even when no one believes you belong. Because courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just breathes, steadies, and fires one last shot. And sometimes the mark we hide under our skin isn't a reminder of pain, but of the lives we carry with us. If this story moved you, take a moment to share where you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe for more true stories of courage, sacrifice, and the silent heroes among us.